Legacy. Legacy is more than what we leave behind when we move on. Legacy is more than just being remembered. It's the things you do for the people around you. It's the actions that you take that make the world a better place. Actions, big or small, can all make a difference. This is the story of a young man whose story, impact, and legacy is very close to the hearts of everyone here at De Montfort University. His friends, his family, his community, and the student group he represented. This is the story of Adam Redfern. First, an introduction to the protagonist of our story. Who was Adam Redfern? To answer this, we interviewed Adam's family, friends, and the people who knew him.
He was born on the 1st of January, 93, and like any little one, he was a bit mischievous sometimes. And then, obviously, as he grew up, left school, he decided he wanted to come to university, chose De Montfort as a journalism student. He didn't know at 16, he didn't know what he wanted to do until he started doing media at school, and that made his mind up. He wanted to come to university, and De Montfort was the one he came to.
Being a university student was a major part of Adam's life. He attended De Montfort University in Leicester in 2011. His chosen studies were journalism, but how was he as a student, and what impact he had to those around him?
Yeah, I remember when Adam was a student, he was very a dedicated student, and he really wanted to get involved in kind of all aspects of university life, and I was really kind of in awe of how he balanced everything.
I think as a person, Adam was incredibly engaging. So irrespective of somebody's background, irrespective of where they'd come from, he could find a way to connect with them. And I think, as you would inevitably expect, because of his passion for media and his passion for sport, Adam would naturally connect with people who had similar passions. But I think where a lot of us find it quite difficult is if you put us in a room with somebody who has completely different interests, which we had no previous awareness of or inclination to get involved in, we'd probably find it quite difficult to strike up a rapport with that person. But for some reason, Adam didn't. He'd find a way to connect with everybody, irrespective of who they were and what they'd done and what their interests were. And I think that helped him hugely being involved in the media, because if he was interviewing somebody, it wouldn't matter what the subject matter was. He'd do a bit of research and straight away he'd be comfortable talking to that person about their passion.
Adam was not only a university student, he became a staff member. He joined the De Montfort Students' Union, where he went on to serve as Vice President of Media and Communications for 2 consecutive years. Later, he became part of the DMU communications team, eventually rising to the position of Senior Social Media Officer. Adam's role as a staff member at the university cannot be understated.
Once he graduated, he spent 2 years at the Students' Union as an elected officer, responsible for media, which he loved doing. And throughout that time, he made some really good relationships with people at the university who were involved in communications and sport.
Adam was a real listener to students, so he was very empathetic. And I always remember that Adam wasn't somebody who just liked the sound of his own voice. So we would have lots of meetings, we'd be discussing projects or campaigns. Adam always listened and he understood what people were saying. He was very professional. He didn't jump in and take over. And sometimes with the exec, there might have been louder members of the team who might be kind of there giving their opinions. And Adam was a thinker, so he would listen to what had been said and process it. And then at the end, Adam would say something and everyone was like, oh yeah. Very, very popular member of the team by everyone. So he could win over the most grumpy member of staff.
But he really had time for every department, not just his own area of work. So, you know, he was really focused, and he would just take the time to get to know everybody and just be really friendly all the time. And I, you know, could go in the kitchen being a newbie, and he would come in and just be having a chat while you're making a cup of tea. He was very well liked and respected and a member of staff, and he was a fantastic leader. He did a lot to grow Dema Media. So did loads and loads of work with Dema Media, had a massive impact. And the work then that Dema Media did with the Students' Union, because of Adam growing that and developing that, was really, really good. and providing loads of other opportunities for students as well. And he also played a big part in sort of the work that went into the redesign and the redevelopment of the campus centre building.
When he got elected into the student union position, I just found that it kind of inspired me to do the same. And I don't think I would have gone for it if he wouldn't have done it.
Now, let's talk Demon Media. Demon is the university-led and run media society. The society has 3 strands that cover video, audio, and writing: the Demon TV, Demon FM, and Demon Magazine. Adam was the head of the 3rd strand, and he changed it radically for the better. You see, the Demon Magazine was not always a magazine, it was a newspaper. One of Adam's most impactful decisions was to turn the bi-weekly newspaper into a monthly magazine.
Adam had a massive impact on Demon Media, and through his 3 years, he was involved obviously with the Demon. He was a journalism student, so yeah, he did the sports column for the Demon through all 3 years, and then obviously was the editor for the Demon in his 3rd year. He was also the Vice President Media and Communications after graduating. So this was a role at the student union to basically run Demon Media and help with the kind of student communications between the university and the student union. Also, through his time at Demon Media, he had radio shows, sport-based radio shows, and would generally just kind of be a helpful and wonderful person to work with. Would do things like, you know, for Varsity, he would do the commentary for the live-streamed games. He would interview people from the sporting world, bring them into the studio, that kind of stuff.
He was quite surprised when he took the role on the 3 strands, television, radio, and the written media at that point felt as though they operated in 3 different silos, and there was very little crossover between the 3, very little cooperation. So one of the things that, again, coming back to this inclusivity that he focused on was getting the 3 strands to work together, to share stories, to share expertise, to share knowledge. And of course, the second thing that he did, which lives to this day, is he took what was previously the student newspaper and changed it to a student magazine. So the current format of that publication is entirely down to Adam.
For me, I think, yeah, he is, Mr. Demon Media. He was when he was a student, and 10 years on, we're still seeing Demon Media being quite a great student group. So yeah, I think I'd say Demon Media was his kind of biggest legacy, definitely.
As the chairperson of Demon Media, I would like to say a massive thank you to Adam for everything that he did for our student group, which would have never been the same without his contribution. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, Adam. Adam loved football. It was one of his greatest passions and one of the things he was most involved in. He gave so much for the sport he loved, and those who knew him can truly attest to that.
Well, he started playing football when he was 8, local teams where we lived, and he played for a local team, and then when he got to over 11, obviously he went to 11-a-side, he moved teams, played for that team, and his dad was actually a manager at one point, so he thought, well, I'll be able to play all the games, but no. We treated him like everybody, all the other players. He wasn't first choice sometimes, and he used to get a bit upset and annoyed and storm off. He'd come home after the game and the boots went on threw them on the floor. But yeah, he loved playing. That was it. If he wasn't playing, he was watching. If he wasn't watching, he was talking about it, and he knew a lot about football and he really enjoyed it. But he played for quite a few teams. And when he passed away, he was actually playing for Sutton Bonington. And they've been a big contributor to the fund. They raised over £300 when he passed away for the fund. And they always come to the football tournament. They're coming again this year. He played for the county, Derbyshire County, 3 times. So yeah, it was just football. I mean, he enjoyed a lot of sports, but it was football that he played and what he loved.
He did play for a lot of, over the years, as his career evolved, he moved several times. Then when he got into adult football at 18, after then he played for a couple of clubs in and around Derbyshire. Then he played for, I think, 3 clubs here in Leicestershire. As Christine said, he finished up at Sutton Bonington. But I think if he had to say to him, and I don't mean this in any way to bring down any of those clubs. If you say to Adam, which part of your time playing football did you enjoy the most, I think he would say it was his 5 years playing for DMU men's football.
Probably best moments at DMU was when he played in the varsity match against Leicester. I think it was both our last matches that we played for DMU, and we beat Leicester in the varsity 3-1. And just some of the memories from that, you know, beforehand having to train a lot and being really dedicated to it, but then afterwards really enjoying kind of our victory.
And it just so happened it was the same year that Leicester won the Premier League, and at the time the Rob Dorset from Sky Sports was in Leicester, and Matt Elliott had a word with him, and he came down to the university and actually presented a few of the team. There was Adam and a couple of others, actually presented the a cup to them for winning varsity.
Yeah, it was quite surreal. We were sat there watching Sky. He'd warned us what was going to happen, and we were sat there watching Sky TV that afternoon on the sports news channel, and they were covering various stories. They came to cover Leicester City winning the Premier League, and all of a sudden camera clicks onto outside the DMU, and there's Adam and 3 or 4 of his other teammates with Matt Elliott and Rob Dorset getting presented with their trophy live on Sky TV, which was quite surreal.
After the sad and unfortunate passing of Adam Redfern, his family, with the help of De Montfort University, set up a charity, the Adam Memorial Fund. So, what is the purpose and the mission statement of this wonderful charity?
When Adam passed away, we were absolutely inundated with generous messages of sympathy and support. We thought there are so many people here that cared about Adam, are writing to us about Adam, and the underlying message in so many of those emails was, if there's anything we can do to help to ensure that Adam's legacy carries on, just let us know. So the logical thing to do was to sit down with the university and say, how can we bring this to reality? And with their support and their guidance, that led to the creation of the Adam Redfern Memorial Fund, which we formally launched in June 2021, so 3 months after Adam had passed away. The first focus was to support media here at DMU in terms of individual students through a scholarship, but also to support the groups like Demon Media. Secondly, we wanted to have a sports focus on that to recognise Adam's love and passion for sport and his time playing football here. The third thing we wanted to do, which I suppose was the most far-reaching thing, was we wanted to do something to raise awareness of cardiac risks in young adults, teaching people how to do CPR, looked at the defibrillator coverage across campus, enhanced that to ensure that wherever something might happen, there's a defibrillator within easy walking, running distance to get that to somebody in good time. The numbers are really horrendous in terms of, at the moment there are between 30 and 35,000 out-of-hospital cardiac arrests in the UK each year. Many of those happen to young people, people who've got no previous warnings of heart conditions. It just completely comes out of the blue. And when somebody does have a cardiac arrest, their chances of recovery reduce by 10% for every minute that passes without CPR and a defibrillator being used.
Before we end this documentary piece, I wanted to know one thing from everyone who knew Adam. If you could describe Adam Redfern with one word, what would that be?
Loyal.
Charismatic.
It's authentic.
Unforgettable.
Funny.
Unique.
Speaking to everyone who knew Adam about his impact and legacy has been incredible. Thank you to everyone who participated, his friends, former colleagues, staff members, and most importantly, Adam's family.
If you want to do something, do it. Don't wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow might not come. Okay, there might be barriers. Cost might be a reason why you can't do something at this point in time. But if you want to do something and you can achieve it from a cost point of view, find the time, go and do it, but don't just do it, go and do it well, give it 100% and do it to the best of your ability, because that way you'll get the most back in terms of satisfaction out of it. None of us know what tomorrow might bring, so don't put things off that you can do.